Hello there, lads and ladies. Welcome back finally to another tattoo story time. Today we are going to be talking about Lady Rani, of course. Now, I should probably show you the tattoo first before I continue on. It's on my leg, so it's a little bit big as well. Hang on. Ooh. There it is. There's Lady Rani, bless her. Now, what I've done is basically I've had my guy give her a black and grey look, like the washed up black and grey, so it kind of like accentuates the dress a little bit. And the arms, I've kind of had two of them go down, whilst the other two are kind of upwards. I was kind of hoping she would have them more in like the clasped look, but unfortunately it didn't work very well. Also, if you've noticed a little bit, hold on. If you've noticed, there are a couple of like stars and little moons around her head and all that stuff. And also due to the fact that it took up so much length on my body, basically, there wasn't much else we could really put into it apart from like the faded out star look around her. I kind of wanted like a little bit more with like that purplish look in the background, but he said like, no, you can't add like color to this because it will just like take away from the design of the character herself, basically. So, with that, I thought to myself, I'm going to get myself a FromSoft character that I want ingrained on my body so I can remember the masterpiece that is Elden Ring. And who better than Lady Rani herself, basically, because at the end of the day, she was gorgeous. It's like, she is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Her story is quite unique, basically, and also she's very important to the ending, basically, for the Age of Stars and all that. Most of the lore surrounded her was based on the idea of that she wanted to break free from the control of the Three Fingers, basically, or the Two Fingers, sorry. The Three Fingers are a completely different entity in all of itself, basically. There was actually a special ending where there was actually a Five Fingers, where like if you combine the Three and Two Fingers, you would make the Five Fingers, and that would be like the ultimate ending, basically, like peace and all that would come to the land or something like that. Like you would be the Five Fingers vassal, basically, or something like that. But they kind of scrapped it because like the whole fingers thing was getting a little bit crazy as it was at that point, basically. I'm sure that was Hidetaka's like decision to cut that, because even though Hidetaka does an awful lot of like creative and very distinguished monsters, the whole Five Fingers storyline was kind of convoluted in a sense that it was like we already have too much in this game. I feel like it's okay if we just scrap this one little thing. Not many people would notice. But honestly, I wouldn't have minded doing another playthrough to get the Five Fingers ending, really, but it was interesting. Anyway, yes, if you don't know, if you're under a rock and all that, you should all know what Elden Ring is. I've got it up on the channel for you all to watch. Finally got the ending now. It's already done and sorted. I haven't actually played it in the entire span of like finishing it to editing it to now at the moment. Although I went back to play like a couple of multiplayer games with a friend of mine. But unfortunately, it's kind of it's the same thing with like Avatar, if you've ever seen that film. Like Avatar by James Cameron is a beautiful film. It's a very well done film. That is how like 3D and like what is it? Like how graphics are meant to be held within like that's how CG is meant to be done, basically, if you want that correctly said, because it kind of meshes with the mocap and the extra like added over the top rated CG effects from like Marvel Studios and stuff like that. The same types of effects that they use, basically, mostly green screens and stuff like that, but it like doubles it. Avatar is the film industry's like if Avatar is basically the film industry's golden nugget, then Elden Ring is FromSoft's golden Eden apple, basically. It's one of those games that like when you first play it, you're really excuse me, you're really encapsulated by the exploratoriness, like the exploratory narrative of the game. But that like Dark Souls side of you wants some bosses to fight basically, and that is my issue with it. Like I said this at the ending of the credits basically. I said that if you want this game to be fantastic than it already is, you want to keep people interested. There are some people that like the exploratory side of things, but then once they've explored it, there's nothing left to do. So then you give them the option to then have the option to fight the bosses over and over again. I mean, the game has already given us so much basically when it came to multiplayer, um, like the expanse of exploratory, the lore and stuff like that, the weapons. Like, there's not much else we can ask for really. It's a very good game. Just to make it that little bit better, do what they did with Sekiro and give us the opportunity to fight bosses. That would keep me hooked for years. I tell you, when Sekiro came out, I was hoping and praying that they would actually add an option where you could fight the bosses, and I'm so glad they did, because not only is it good for you to like constantly go in and out and in and out and practice their techniques, it gives you that sense of like, this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm here to fight these bosses, to get like powerful, to take on these bosses basically, to perfect it. That's why I loved Elden Ring, because of the boss fights mostly. The exploratory side of things, yeah, it's great. The expansiveness is great, but I'm just there to fight the bosses basically at the end of the day. And there were some very good bosses. Like, if I could compare one person to Sekiro, I believe it would have to be Melania. Melania was easily the hardest From Software boss I'd ever faced. And I'm not going to tell you what exactly happened between me and the Orphan of Kos, because that would be spoiling things, but it will be interesting to see when that comes out. I will be doing Bloodborne, maybe not next week. I've got another game that I'm going to upload for you guys with some meshes of multiplayer games like First Class Trouble. I want to get that out for you guys to enjoy. But I want to show off another little game that you guys might enjoy. It's very funny, you'll enjoy it. But I will also give out like Bloodborne for you guys to enjoy, because that is another fantastic From Software game that I'm surprised it's not on my channel basically. I want to get it up there. I want to get it alongside Elden Ring. Actually, what I want to do with Rani on my leg is that I want to incorporate other From Software lasses into it basically. So, like say if I go on the inside of my leg here, I might probably put the doll from Bloodborne there. You know, I might get Lady Maria there. I'm not so sure yet. Or I might probably include Emma from Sekiro. Or maybe I might get the prince actually. I might get I don't know. I'm trying to think really, because if I've got enough room, I kind of want to have like this triplet look of like these three From Software bosses on my leg. That would look really nice, I think. You know, you've got Lady Rani, you've got Lady Maria, and then you've got Lady Emma, all on one leg, and I feel like that would look really good. I kind of want to like see what I can spice around with. Merely, I'm trying to think of where to put them. I think I might put Lady Maria right next to Rani, and then put Emma like at the back of my leg or something like that. That might look good. I'll probably show you guys when I have like a little sketch done, so I can get that sorted basically. I actually still have the original sketch to Rani up in my room because it's such a well done sketch. Like, it might not look good in 20 so years time, because like the detail, there's a little bit of white in there. There's white paint in there to there's white ink, sorry, to make it like pop, like when you obviously have it for like the first 3 or 4 so years. But that white is going to fade sooner or later. It just depends on how it's going to hold up over time. So I'll probably have to do a couple of touch ups on it. But yeah, it's a really good. It's a very well done work by a chap called Brian. He goes he works at a little tattoo shop just down the road from me. It's called Magic Tattoo now. It used to be called Angelic Hell, now it's Magic Tattoo. I don't know why the owner has changed it. Honestly, Angelic Hell sounded better, to be honest. She basically took ownership of the place after the last tattoo bloke owned it. Kind of gave it to her basically so she could do whatever she wants with it basically. It's kind of a shame really, because I kind of like Angelic Hell. I feel like they could have come up with a better name than that really. And I think they're kind of going the way of traditional basically, which is not bad because my rose is traditional and honestly I like it. I like the traditional look. It's just with certain works they don't look good, like with eagles. I don't like eagles that are American traditional works really, because it's a bit, yeah, you know, I don't know, like the bold lines on the eagle just makes it look very not realistic. Have you ever seen like a lightning strike tattoo? Like a lightning tattoo, like Harry Potter's like scar tattoo. It looks like that with some of the lining on like the feathers and all that stuff. Like how they're so pointy and so like blotchy with all this black boldness, which is understandable. Like traditional tattoos have to have those bold lines so they last. The one good thing about traditional tattoos is that they last for a long, long, long time, which is what you want. Quality over quantity is better, basically. But at the end of the day, if you really want a tattoo that's going to last, you want to go traditional, especially with like the big bold lines and all that stuff. But honestly, I have different styles on me. Like I have in the different meshes of styles, basically, that I do tend to enjoy really at the end of the day, because American traditional, which is kind of the little brother to traditional in England at the time, we focus more on the lines, whilst they focus more on like the depth, I think, because I feel like the deeper you go, the more it will stay. But if you go too deep, then obviously blowouts happen, and that's not good, basically. But when it comes to Elden Ring, I kind of really wanted to get Rani because I fell in love with her at first sight, like her way of speaking, her Anglo-Saxon way of speaking, basically, her missions and all that. Poor Blythe, bless him. I'm still upset that I lost the footage of me fighting and beating Blythe, really, because I really wanted to get that up there, because I really was emotional by the end of it. I was really upset that, we couldn't save Blythe, and then EG ended up freaking dying. I'm sorry, guys, spoilers if you haven't, like, watched my Elden Rings things, but goddamn it, go watch them, they're good. Trust me, Elden Ring is a good game to play and a good one to watch as well, definitely, it's fantastic. Definitely a fantastic game to play if you haven't had the opportunity to play it. But it's very upsetting, really, because I liked Blythe, and there are an awful lot of people in that game that just ended up dying that I was really upset about. But I was thankful at least that my lady was with me all the way to the end, basically. And apart from not Melania, Melina. I can't remember. They both sound so similar. Like our assistant with the closed eye and the red-headed scarlet rot-ridden lass. They both sound very similar. No, Melania is the one where I was bashing my head against the wall for like 8 hours trying to defeat, whilst the other one, Melina, is the assistant of ours, which is quite upsetting as well, really. The fact that she had to be used as a torch, basically, to light the Erd tree on fire. Which is such a shame, really, because honestly, I felt like since we come back, literally left, right, and centre, we could have been the torch. I mean, how it's been bleeming proven in the flame of what's it ending. Although I think they give a reasoning for that. The reason you can set yourself on fire and then come back is because you are the flame lord, basically. Like flames don't affect you or something like that, which is stupid, because if I'm in a universe where I can respawn day in and day out with like lack of runes and all that stuff, then I think I'd be fine to light myself on fire for like 5 seconds and then like come back, no problem. It just makes no sense, really. But continuity aside, there was even I forgot to add it, but there's actually a special little thing when you go to face Margot, or Morgoth. Sorry, I keep calling her Margaret for some reason. But with Margaret, you can actually there's a little summoning stone by the right hand side of the gate. You can actually summon Melina to come and assist you. Obviously, she is one of the Black Assassins who was responsible for killing Godwin? I think it was Godwin. I can't quite remember. It's been a long time. I'm trying to remember which one. Godric was the one with the grafted arms. Godfrey was the first Elden Lord. And Godwyn was the first one with like the golden hair, the one that got killed, basically. Yeah, she was part of that order. And I think the reason why she wanted to burn the Erd tree and set it all alight was mostly to do with her mother, basically, because I think her mother was one of the leaders of the, or was the leader of the Black Knife Assassins, basically. And I feel like she kind of wanted to topple everything what Marika has created, basically, because it has just become so convoluted with like this idealistic thing of like living in a dream world, basically. Like they're living in a dream world where nobody dies, everything is happy, everything is golden. When that's not the case, life is not happy-go-lucky. Life is hard. Life has death in it. You have to learn to overcome those things to become a better person, basically. And I kind of like how, like with Rani's ending, I feel like the ending is kind of misinterpreted as well, because when she basically made that vow of the Age of Stars, basically, I felt like she was probably talking about something else. Like, she wanted to uproot everything to the point of there being nothing. So I feel like what she is referencing is more than likely the Big Bang, which started our Earth, basically. And I know that's a very far-fetched theory, but there's a few things to back it up, really, because of the Age of Stars. Like how Radahn was holding the stars up, basically, and how they were coming into the land and then, like, hitting the Earth. That was basically a representation of the first asteroid, which hit the Earth back in the prehistoric times. And then, I'm really reaching here, guys, but hold on. And then it kind of like, this whole moon just opens up with the galaxy expanding and all that. It's kind of like similar to how the Big Bang happened, even though not many people really know how the Big Bang happened. It was just a quick explosion. Some people believe that a black hole swallowed a planet and then spat it back out, and then that is how it happened. But then how could a black hole exist if the galaxy doesn't exist? It's interesting, really. Like, the whole idea of the Big Bang Theory just really, like, wraps our minds around it, and like it gets us talking about interesting things like that. That's what was so great about the Elden Ring community. Well, apart from the fact that everybody kept like going on about Tryfinger butthole, you know, there's the meme side of things, and then there's the intellectual side of things where people tend to make different theories about other theories within the game, but also within real life. How like they two interchange with one another, basically. But yeah, mostly I was there for the bosses at the end of the day. I kind of really hope that Hidetaka and George R. R. Martin do get the opportunity to add an option where we can face the bosses, and then maybe when you defeat those bosses, you get some outfits, weapons, and stuff like that. Kind of like what they do with the DLC of Bloodborne, where you get more weapons as you go into the DLC. And that DLC, how you enter into it, is very interesting. How they were able to handle that, like how you got grabbed by an Amidala, and then it crushes you, and then sends you like into this nightmare of Lady Maria's or something like that. I think it's Lady Maria's, or it's the Orphan of Kos's nightmare. I'm not so sure. I think no, the original nightmare is Gehrman's, I believe. I think, oh, unless it's the other one. I can't quite remember, but I think that was Gehrman's nightmare or something. I don't know, but I think the other one, the DLC, is Lady Maria's nightmare, because she's trying to protect the secret of like the swamp, basically, of like the Orphan of Kos, basically, which I will probably go into over the gameplay of it. But yeah, that has been my little odd tattoo story time of Lady Rani. I don't really have like that great of a story to add to Lady Rani on this. I just got her because I thought to myself, I want to pay a nice little homage and tribute to a fantastic game studio. Easily have toppled like other game studios in the past, like Naughty Dog, really. I mean, I can't blame Naughty Dog because an awful lot of their games like are fantastic, like Crash Bandicoot and The Last of Us. Like, I'll always play The Last of Us #1. That was fantastic. That's such a good game. But then when the second one came out, it became like feminized, it became woke, it became so about their own agenda that it was just hysterical. And I think well over like 70% of the script writing casts and the animators and all that left because they didn't agree with like the way the direction of the game was going, basically. I just find it really hysterical how you can take a most beloved character and kill him off like that. That just makes no sense. And then have the guy that looks so much like the director of The Last of Us or Naughty Dog's Industries to spit on his character was, yeah, you're gonna incite violence, man. You know, it's like when people say, oh, it's just a game. No, it ain't. No, it ain't just a game. You're messing with people's lives, dude, when you do shit like that, honestly. And it's kind of effed up, really, because, you know, I used to love, like, The Last of Us. I used to love Ellie. I used to love, like, the whole story around her basically. But then they make you play this character you don't care about. Like, I could have cared about her. Like, if we played as her first, and then we built her up, and then halfway through the game, we then find out that she was, like, the daughter of the man who, like, Joel killed in the last film. I mean, yeah, Joel wasn't a saint himself, but that's what happens is when they build us up to love a person, we tend to love them no matter their flaws, basically. They just went about it the wrong way, basically. And then they expect you to play as the character that has killed, like, your loved one, like, literally, like, 10 minutes after you've only played Ellie for, like, maybe 2 hours or so. And I'm thinking to myself, no, that's not how you do things. And then they try to, like, force you to like this character by, like, oh, yeah, I get to pet the dog, and, oh, yeah, we play with the dog. And then you cut back to Ellie, and she's killing people and killing dogs. And, like, that's gaslighting. That is just horrid. That's just not how you do things, basically. It was a poor sense of direction, and they effed it. Sorry guys, that just went on a little rant there for a minute because I was really looking forward to playing that game, and then I read reviews and I'm glad I never picked it up. Honestly, I'm glad I watched a playthrough of it because I would not be able to do, like, literally, I was talking to my friend about this the other day, like, the fact that you were killing dogs, that pissed me off enough. To find out that some of them were German Shepherds, ugh! Pissed me off. I couldn't watch it, man. If you couldn't pay me to play that game, you could send me a certain amount of money and I would not play that game. I'd turn you down because I can't do that. It would force me to kill dogs. I can't do that, man. It's fucked up. Fucked up. Like, killing people, yeah. Killing women, that's a bit questionable, but yeah. Dogs? Nah. I'm not doing it, man. I'm not doing it. Like, that would rip my heart out if I have to hear a whimper. I was really struggling to watch that. I had to skip past the bits where they were shooting the dogs because I was literally, like, I was really getting pissed off with, like, listening to the whimpers and moans and all that shit because of my boy back there. You know, I'm so glad that he passed in the night because if I had him die in my arms, like Bailey died in my arms, my heart would have shattered. And I was young as well. I was like 12, 13 or something at the time when he died. So I was really fucking upset, man. I was really dying inside when he passed away, basically. So having to go through that game, if I'd have gone through that game, I probably would have, like, cried my bloody eyes out at that bit, really. I would have been pissed off even more. So yeah, you won't be seeing any Last of Us 2 gameplays anymore. Well, no, I can't accept it, any offers. No. If you offered me a bag of like 1 million, I wouldn't even play that game. I can't, dude. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Anyway, with that, lads and ladies, after the stupid little rant there for you guys to enjoy, I shall be heading off now. Not next week or the week after that, maybe in a few weeks' time, I'll be doing another tattoo story time. I'll probably be talking about the whole thing behind the little flip knife comb, or the flip comb, basically. There's a little story behind that, and kind of a story of my awakening as a young man, basically, into who I am today, which kind of helped me to better my mental health, better myself as a person, and I really want to talk about that a little bit more with you guys when I have the opportunity. But in 2 or so days' time, I will be uploading another video of a new game that'll be coming out. I might as well tell you what it is. It's a Little Misfortune. So if you've played it, then you know. If you've played Frambo, you know what I'm talking about. But trust me, it's a good game. It's a very funny game. I think you'll enjoy it. So, with that, lads and ladies, I thank you ever so much for watching as always. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys in whatever I do next around here. Take care, my friends.